here.
Is it happening? Is there stuff happening right now?
Yeah, it's been quite noisy since last night. Last night I woke up because there were several consecutive explosions, and it was real close. And then this morning I found out that they struck some apartment building, like maybe from here. And then there was another. I don't know if it was a missile. They shut down a missile, but I heard explosions like very close here. And then yesterday during the day, the Air Force Air Defense shut down a Russian missile right in front of the apartment building where I used to live, like maybe 80 meters. And most like the buildings in the area was damaged, and one person was killed and several were wounded. And then most of window glasses were broken, including our apartment building. So yeah, it means that it's closer to the city, and that here and there are some buildings are, I don't know, occasionally or intentionally are hit. So
Are you
the
worried?
war is close at the city.
Are you worried that your building could be hit at some point?
No, I am in the compound, and my building from the northern side is protected by some other building. It's a joke, but I don't know. I follow the news from Mariupol and Kharkiv, so it's hell over there. So compared with these places, we're still living in peace, I would say, because these cities, specifically Mariupol, suffered a lot last week. So
I guess what I worry is as the troops move closer, do you worry that it's gonna become like Mariupol in Kiev?
I don't think so. I don't think so. You know that for Putin, Kiev has this historic significance. At least that's what I think, because he says that it's known that Kiev is the mother of all Russian cities, and so the city has this historic importance for him. And I don't think it is his plan to destroy the city right now. So it might come to this, but in my opinion, it will be in the end. Not right now. Same as Odessa, because Odessa is one of the biggest Russian-speaking cities and has also historic importance for Russians. Same as Kiev. That's what they say, and that's my opinion. They will spare these cities for the final assault, should this happen. So that's what I think. I see that the military disagree, because we, for example, starting tonight at 8 until clock the day after tomorrow, we have this extended curfew. We had this only one weekend. We have this extended curfew. This is the second time, so they have this long. Tomorrow, people are not allowed to go out. So which means there should be some.
One thing I've noticed since talking to you is you're very positive and hopeful that it's not going to be as bad as it is. And I feel like a few times it has, a building will fall and things will happen, but you keep that positivity. And even now you're saying, I don't think he's going to come in. I don't think he's going to damage or demolish Kiev. How does he do it without taking Kiev?
What I'm saying, I don't think he's gonna damage the city now. So, because in my understanding, since the negotiations are taking place, so Kiev is a very important place, important thing to negotiate for. I mean, and we have this very bad example of Kharkiv being completely demolished and destroyed in the center of the city and these residential neighborhoods. I don't remember if I told a friend that the shell hit their house, so she barely survived. And then they spent 5 nights in the basement of a school. So And she didn't believe that the shell would hit their house. So she was very positive as well. Maybe it's a problem of the positive people. So you always think this wouldn't happen. And then when it happens, so you try to somehow find a way to find a way out.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I see that there is a lot of the city is ready for the defense of the city, territorial defense, and the military are ready to defend the city. And you can still travel. I drove around today, and my papers were checked multiple times, and then the car was checked, and so everyone gets stopped, and but people understand the reason for that. So because this is we have more, and it's clear that I can hear explosions, I can hear artillery very close, like all day long today. And it's as I already said, it's kind of surrealistic. You wake up, still we had a lot. It was a sunny day today. It was the warmest day, I would say. And then you hear all day long some explosions or multiple rocket launchers. So it's some kind of surrealistic situation I find myself in. So,
I've spoken to a few people in Ukraine and about Ukraine, people who are attached to Ukraine. And at the beginning, they were like 50-50 whether or not Vladimir Putin would even invade. They weren't even sure they would, I'm not thinking he's going to invade. And now it's to the point where he's attacking civilians. And he's, of course, claiming that he's not. But
yeah.
It has really come a long way from what a lot of people thought he would never get to this point. Does that cause you some concern?
Yeah, I also didn't believe that he would invade. So my wife would ask me and my friends, and I would say, no, he's not going to do that. And finally he did. Who knows? I talked to my wife, and she'll listen to a podcast from people trying to escape from these neighborhoods, Kiev neighborhoods. These people suffered huge loss. It was such a mess, and it was hard for them to leave. And some of them, when leaving, were killed and died. And so people are suffering a lot. And as I said, you can feel it here, but just 15 kilometers away, it's a totally different story. And people living there, they have completely different experience. So, and they tried, because some of they won't survive because they don't have enough food, don't have gas. Luckily, it's today was a warm day, but before it was really cold. So, so I always believe that the worst one happened, because Kiev is the capital. People, although many people left, there are more than 2 million people left here. It's one of the biggest cities in Europe. So, and as Putin claims, it's very important for the history of spying in Russia, and that means he won't destroy it. But then he was talking about never.
To be fair, a lot of what comes out of that man's mouth is rubbish. It's just crap.
So it's like lies. It's lies. You hear these lies, and then you trust that this won't happen. That it happens. So that's the situation I'm finding myself in. But I decided to stay here in the city and see how it goes and what happens, because this is, and I feel here comfortable. And I'm happy that my wife is already in Spain, so they were accepted. There are several web resources, and I could find a family, and this family accepted them. So if they feel safe, this is the most important thing.
And your children are gone as well?
Yeah, my wife and my kids. Yeah,
that's wonderful. That's great news.
No, Europeans are helping a huge lot, people in any country, because we talked to this family and they told me, yeah, it's not only your fight, it's our fight as well, because you are defending Europe right now. So you're fighting for these values. So, and they're helping Ukrainians a lot. I mean, legally to be legalized for at least 1 year to get some allowance, and then families accept people and give them accommodation, food. Everything is well organized right now for the Ukrainians fleeing the conflict.
What do you do?
The most concerning thing is the civilians in these cities which are surrounded by the Russian army, like Kharkov or Mariupol. These are the places where people are suffering most.
What are you gonna what will you do if Kiev becomes one of those places and they start to surround and circle and come in, and are you gonna get out there, or I mean, what do you do?
No, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay here, and I will hope that the worst won't happen here. So this is just, as you said, I'm very positive. I've always been very positive. So, and
That's
I
good, I
don't
guess.
intend to leave the city. Yeah.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, and we'll certainly be offering up prayers for you. And you're a brave man. You're a brave man.
Well, I'm not that brave as people on the front line, I would say. I mean, being on the front line, these people are really brave. But I'm just a good citizen. So somehow I'm trying to help other people and our teachers and our staff. But again, this is not what some other people are doing, being on the front line, risking their lives. So they're real heroes.
What do you think of your president Zelensky and how he's handled himself and represented the country throughout this invasion?
How I feel.
What's your thoughts of President Zelensky? Good, bad, neutral?
No, Zelensky is a patriot, so he's doing his best to defend the country. So, I mean, whatever he does, so he does everything the right way. So, my opinion is it's hard to then, specifically if he's never been in politics, and now this is the biggest war in Europe since the Second World War. So, it's hard to be a president under these circumstances. I believe that, yeah.
I believe he's handled himself like a rock star, and the rest of the world is standing behind Ukraine and President Zelensky. So I wish the best for you and your family. And is there anything else you want to say before I let you go?
I want somehow this war to be stopped, because the longer it will drag on, the more casualties, civilian casualties there will be. Because when they use these rocket launch systems for indiscriminate shelling of residential areas, so people suffer a lot. And Mariupol, this is it, the worst example of how this can happen. So I mean, it's trying to find the contact of someone for the Central Japanese television yesterday, and talking to the journalists and friends, and I couldn't find a single person who would report from Mariupol, because they say they had no electricity, they had no mobile, and it was hard for them to find at least one person to talk on the Central Japanese television about the conflict. So, but today I read that they created this evacuation corridor so that people could move out of the city. I don't know how many people moved out of the city, but that's what I read. So somehow some people could get out of the city.
I feel like Putin has made those concessions before, and there's been so many talks and concessions. When you're negotiating with an ignorant madman, what do we expect? It's really not going to mean much coming from somebody as unsavory as Vladimir Putin.
Yeah. And then he kept talking about not starting a war, and he started it. So how can you trust him? And now he called it, instead of calling a war, he called it a military operation. Because I told you I would never start a war. So he started the action.
He's lost credibility with the entire world. No one believes what that maniac says. So let him say what he wants, but I don't believe he'll be successful in the end.
And what I read today, there was a Fox News cameraman killed today in Irpin, outside Kiev. Yeah.
Yeah, a
And
Fox News cameraman.
journalist.
The journalist was injured. It's
Okay.
I mean, it's nothing compared to what you guys have seen, but it really strikes home back in the United States when, you know, one of our own was caught up in the conflict like this.
Yeah. I'm sorry for that as well. Yeah.
Well, Gayla, I wish you the very best. And if you need anything, if you need to talk, if you need to reach out, if we need to do another one of these, or if you just need something that I can try to get to you, I don't know how I would, but I will die trying getting it to you. If you need anything, just let us know.
Yeah. As long as I have electricity and Wi-Fi, so we can be in touch, and I can update you like 3 days or 4 days on how it goes. So on what's going on here. So you can rely on me.
But you can rely on me as well. Stay safe. And you have a friend back
Yeah.
here in the United States if you need anything.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Have
Yeah.
it. Please be safe.
Thank you, Singh. I will.